Alright, so we've designed our 144 kit to go with this GoCode trim. The trim is really easy to put in. It's just one self-tapper, touch right into the headliner. Done this side already, so we'll throw in this one, show you how. You just gotta slide it down into the B column, slip it into the headliner, and then get the rubber seal around it. So, I mean, that's it. And then just take the self-tapper and we're done. So we'll continue across, do the whole slider door trim, and then we'll move to the back and do the rear door trim. All right, so here's your next piece. This is going to go over the slider and tuck into the rubber trim as well. And then we've got the last piece that goes down the column. It's now a nice one piece instead of two. And it has some adhesive tape on the back that you'll stick to the frame. So let's get those in. Okay, so let's put the threshold piece over the slider. Super easy. Pop it in place. The trim. Now, you can put a bunch of self-tappers in if you like. Our trim kit is going to just hold it up there in place, so I'll just put one in to kind of fit it up until the until our trip in, until our sub panels go in. So our sub panel is designed to push right up against this. So we just pin it up there, and then we'll throw in this next piece down the column. Just take off the heat, and I'll just time lapse this. This takes me a little while and I don't want to bore you to death. Okay, so got that in there. Just gotta do one self-tapper just to keep it in place, but our sub panel will go over this trim and just hold it in place nicely. So I just pin it up there. Kind of make sure that it tucked in to the rubber seal before you tap it in. So there you go, all installed. Okay, so just going to show quickly how our sub panel fits over GoCode trim. So it'll overlay this tab on the column. Just get that into place, right up against it. Use the third hand to place. So it just presses against the trim. Screw that in with the self-tapper and then bolt the finished panel over that. That's all in our install video for the base kit. So that's just how our sub panel, or how our kit works with the GoCode trim. Alright, so now we're going to throw in the back door trim here. This piece goes up over the top. These slots slide over those locking mechanisms up there. So first we'll have to drill out these holes for rib nuts with 4 holes in the top and 4 holes on each side. A couple of these are just factory holes, so there's some M8 bolts for those, 2 of those, and then the other 2 are rib nuts. And this guy down here is a little tricky, so we'll go over that in a little bit more detail, because there's a big piece of metal right behind it that keeps you from getting that rib nut all the way in. So let's go over that. Okay, so this hole is a tricky one. It has that big piece of metal behind it. So this is how I do it. Maybe there's a better way, but pre-drill it first with the 23/64 bit. You're going to use that on all these other holes. All the other ones are easy. This one's tricky. So, what I do is just get through and then just touch the other side. Get rid of that bit. Get a smaller bit. And give yourself a little pilot hole. Okay, so see, there's a big chunk of metal behind this thing, and it keeps your rib nut from going in all the way. So what we'll have to do is drill a little pilot hole in that hunk of metal back there so that we can get our larger bit through it and get the rib nut all the way in. So let's try that. Okay, so the point of doing the pilot hole is because when you're trying to drill straight through with the 23/64 bit, you'll hit that metal behind it and it'll start deflecting and enlarging your first hole and may cause issues with your rib nut. So that's why we use the pilot hole and then drill again to keep that first hole intact. Okay, so we drilled it with the 23/64. You got a little bite in that metal behind there. Now take a little smaller bit and just try to get a little purchase. And straighten it out so you can get your larger bit in there. Swap that out, get the larger bit again, grab that pilot hole, okay, kind of bore that out a little, and then we can get the rib nut all the way in. Okay, then be sure to prime these holes with a little bit of paint after you drill them, just to protect the metal surface. Okay, so there's lots of rib nut tools. We've got the manual style. There's battery powered as well. But this one, you just throw your rib nut on there, put it in the hole, and then clamp it. And unscrew it. Back it out. And that's your first rib nut. So the next one is the machine. So those are factory holes with the M8s. We'll do a few more. We'll do one more up top, 4 up top for the other piece, and come down the other side. Get all our rib nuts in, and then get the trim in. Here you can just see where it slips over that door mechanism. So if you see the alignment, you can just start with the hand tightening. And then finish with your hex head. right, well, that's it. We got the GoCode Trim Kit in, and next up will be our sub panels. That's our base kit installation video. We've got our sub panels, finished panels going in that video. So any suggestions, ways to do this better, I'm open, especially this one bolt down here. So comment below if you got any ideas. Thanks for watching. Hey there, quick note, put the Loctite on. So I just went around and hit each of the bolts a little bit with that Loctite. It comes with the GoCode kit, so just throw that on there. Just helps keep those bolts in and secure. All right, cheers.